Let's begin today with the concept of energy resources. So, what is energy? Well, energy is the ability or the capacity to do work. Energy is the primary requirement for human day-to-day activities, and most of the energies we use are from natural sources like coal, oil, etc. For example, electricity, which we use to power our appliances, combustion energy, which we use to power vehicles, hydro energy, etc. So, moving on to classifications, there are two types of energy resources. One is the renewable energy resource and another one non-renewable energy resource. So, what is renewable resource? Well, they are produced by nature and will not get exhausted. It means to say that they are present in abundant quantities. For example, solar energy, hydel energy, wind energy, and geothermal energy, which we get from the hot springs below the Earth's crust. Next, non-renewable resources. Well, they are the energy resources which are limited and will get exhausted upon excess use. That is because small amounts of these resources take millions of years to form. For example, coal, petroleum, and uranium, which is a type of nuclear fuel. Moving on to fuels. What is a fuel? Well, fuel is a substance containing carbon and hydrogen which, on burning with oxygen in the atmosphere, produces energy in the form of heat and light. Well, fuels are the main components which are used to power up our vehicles and machines. Moving on to types of fuels, solid fuel is a type of fuel which is available in the solid form. Wood is a good example which is used for cooking and several household activities. Then next comes coal, in which the main components of this coal is pulverized coal and coke, both of which is used abundantly in the construction of roads, and we can see it in the form of tar. Next, moving on to liquid fuels, it is a type of fuel which is present in a liquid form. Petrol is a good example which is used to power combustion engines. Similarly, diesel, which is a mixture of petrol and kerosene. Petroleum coke is a special type of liquid fuel which has 90% carbon, which means that more energy can be produced by it by a less cost. Next, moving on to gaseous fuel, they are the fuels which is available in the gaseous form. Natural gas is a composition of hydrocarbon gases such as methane, ethane, and gases such as carbon dioxide, helium, nitrogen, etc. The next type is manufactured gas, which is a mixture of solid and liquid fuels. Some examples are coal gas and producer gas. Well, they are used as industrial power sources. Next, moving on to calorific value. Well, it is the energy liberated by complete combustion of a unit quantity of fuel under normal conditions of pressure and temperature. Well, it basically means that it is the energy we get by the complete combustion, that is when all the carbon reacts with oxygen of a unit quantity of fuel under normal conditions where pressure is 1 bar and temperature is 0 degree Celsius. Well, the unit for CV is kilojoules per kg for solid and liquid fuels and kilojoules per meter cube for gaseous fuels. There are two types of calorific values, namely higher or gross calorific value and lower or net calorific. So, what is higher calorific value? Well, it is the same as calorific value, but in addition, temperature of the products of combustion is cooled down to the initial fuel temperature. Well, it basically means that the amount of heat consumed by water vapor is also considered, whereas in lower, there is no consideration of the energy consumed by the water vapor in the products of combustion. So next, moving on to fuel combustion. Well, it is the chemical reaction between fuel and oxidizer producing energy in the form of heat and light. Well, a reaction is given with an example where petrol is mixed with oxygen in the atmosphere to give byproducts such as carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc., and heat, which is used for the application, that is the driving of the machines. Well, the combustion should always be exothermic and not endothermic, in the sense it should always produce heat but not absorb the heat. Well, combustion leads to the production of byproducts in the form of gases such as sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc., which are very harmful to the nature and increases pollution at rapid rates. Hence, switching to a cleaner fuel is a necessary task. So, biofuels are the answers. So, they are fuels which are produced from biological materials such as vegetable oils, sewage waste, biomass, etc. Well, This is a type of clean fuel which does not cause any pollution and are abundant as we can produce them at any rates. So the types of biofuels are fuel pellets made from wood chips or sawdust, biodiesels which are made from non-edible seeds such as mustard, and bioethanol, or simply known as ethanol, which is a very famous substitute for the fossil fuels in the automobile industry nowadays, which is made of corn, wheat, sugarcane, etc.
Wow, that's impressive! You have completed a magic today. For more videos, subscribe. Join our Facebook group and Instagram page for group discussion and live magaz videos for exam preparation in an hour. We start at class-like community for students to learn from a friend in a simple way and support them in their own languages. If you are willing to be that one friend who saves us at the exam night preparation, then please join us by visiting classfly.in.